You are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire wrestling community, and I'm your host Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
Together we are RAW. How's every single one of you, family? Welcome to the NXT UK review. Every Thursday we cover this show that, like, for the most part, is like one of the best shows in the WWE. And this time was not, a bad show. We got a championship match. We have also like implications of what's going to happen in the NXT UK championship, and also for the women. So like a show that like is giving you already the paths of what's going to happen, moving forward in the brand. So good show, Paul. Your thoughts on this? What could it change, or like, are you happy with the overall experience from this NXT UK?
Yeah, I mean, when we get to the main event, at first you and I maybe had wanted to see it end differently, but when you really think about the landscape and everything that they have going on, it probably was the right time and the right move to do. You can still tell the story that I think you need to tell, but no, overall NXT UK always delivers the best show. They tease you for feuds and matchups and things that you can see in the coming weeks. You know what to get excited for. They don't do anything insulting, and they always give you a fantastic main event. So
absolutely.
This was a great show.
Exactly, family. So thank you so very much. Don't forget to support us with the AEW Dynamite review. Every single thing about this show, like, that is preparing for winter is coming. It's going to be next week. A full show that's going to be packed with a lot of good matches. Hikaru Shida against Serena Deeb. Dante Martin going against MJF. Also for like the Diamond Ring. And like the AEW World Heavyweight Championship match, Hangman Page defending the title against Bryan Danielson. Paul, your thoughts on like a bad Dynamite that, like, we haven't seen this in such a long time, but we had to have one.
Yeah, and that's why, again, I'm so glad that this show here, NXT UK, follows it. So it's like a palate cleanser. It's like, here's a really good show to wash the bad taste out of your mouth. No, winter's coming. I think it's going to be a stacked card, to echo everything you just said. But no, not a good show at Dynamite. You want to hear a full rant and review and everything, please go check out the video from last night.
Absolutely. And then, Paul, NXT UK opened up with Blair Davenport against Amelie McKenzie. Good match between the two. Implications. Why? Because Amelie McKenzie is Meiko Satomura's student. She's learning the craft. Like, she's the one that she supposedly will pass the torch. She's the one that is preparing the pipeline. And he's like, hey, you're going to be the one. But like, the Blair Davenport said, hey, I'm in the way. Let's see what you can do for me. While Meiko is in Japan, she's getting some resi, seeing like her boyfriend and everything. Minoru Suzuki. So they're like, yee, having a great time. But like, what did you think? Because this was like two women that know how to wrestle, and it noticed. It notices when like two women know what they're doing, especially because it was hard hitting. It had a lot of intensity, and especially when Davenport hits that knee, when Amelia's going for the spear, really cool, moment right there.
Yeah, I like this match. Amelia, she takes over in the beginning. They're like, oh my God, we thought Blair Davenport, but maybe it's the speed and the skill of Amelia McKenzie. But then you saw eventually the power of Blair Davenport took over, and I love, just the spear that she hit when she actually just she hits the spear better than Edge. She hits the spear better than Edge. I mean, I'm sorry, but she does, good spear with 2 count.
Because she doesn't hogfall,
Yeah, exactly. She actually spears you. So you saw the frustration there, but then eventually you said Blair Davenport took over when pretty much won the match when Amelia McKenzie, she goes up, goes to do the spear off the turnbuckle, and boom, the big knee strike, Falcon Arrow. I mean, this was a great match. To me, Amelia McKenzie's like, she doesn't have like the character or maybe the charisma of like a Blair Davenport or Eva Valkyrie or a Ginny, but she's like a fresh, great piece of clay that you can mold and turn into anything because she has the skill. She looks like a baby face. You know what I mean? You really get people behind her and push her. So she's good, but Blair Davenport needed to win this. She had a beatdown after the match. She's like, Meiko, call me. Like whenever you're done hiding in Japan.
STF. Yeah. She has the STF on. So like really cool stuff. So you already see it. The next opponent for Meiko Satomura is going to be Blair Davenport. Is she going to lose the title? That's the big question mark right there. Is she going to do it? Because we all think that like Blair Davenport should be the one next to like get that championship. Maybe Meiko's run is come to an end. Maybe not having like a great opponent, or maybe they do one and then in the next one, then she gets the title. We'll see. But this is going to be a good rivalry. I'm really thinking
I'm
that it's going to be really, really good, Paul. So let's talk about, Shah Samuels and Noam Dar, because they were actually starting to celebrate with Sid Scala. Yee, we're champions, oh yeah. And he's going to face Sam Gradwell later on in the show. But like they're kind of taunting like Sid Scala, and he's like, well, so just so you know, go have your match, but also there's going to be a number one contenders match, and that is going to be Nathan Frazier. No, it's not. Yeah, Nathan Frazier going against the A-Kid. So this was good, and we said this match should have happened, weeks ago. We said that at some point we will see these guys going at it because they're built the same. Their characters are the same. Their abilities is pretty much the same. So this is going to be a good encounter between similar styles right there. I like this.
Yeah, and the only thing I'm thinking is like, okay, A-Kid is featured so much, but and also two baby faces. I mean, yeah, if you want to, we can talk about the promo now too.
Let's do
it. A-Kid was like, I have the timing, I have the technique, the skill. Yeah, maybe Frazier is a better high flyer. Maybe he is faster, but and he pretty much said his technique and everything will, get him the win, and he's the superstar he is because of the Heritage Cup. He's going to win it again, all that stuff. And Frazier said he's used to his back being against the wall, people kind of like not believing in him, not thinking he can do it and everything. And, they both cut good babyface promos, but there's a little bit of intensity there, a little bit of, okay, I think this is going to be good. And, your champion is a heel. So two baby faces going at it. It at least makes the match not predictable. Because if it was a babyface and a heel, you'd say, the heel's going to lose, so it can be a proper match.
Exactly.
But,
I agree with you, and that's what they needed to do. The only thing I have a problem with, and this is going a little bit of off topic, what's wrong with this hair, dude?
It looked like Shawn Michaels in 200003.
Yeah,
when he came back, I was like, what's going on?
Hell in a Elimination Chamber. So like, I mean, it's going to be a good encounter, and you said either babyface. I'm thinking it needs to be Nathan Frazier. We've seen the A-Kid way too much challenging. He has so many opportunities. He had his time in the sun. He needs to just give away a little bit. Go back, and then just Nathan Frazier is your time. Let's see what you can do with Noam Dar. If you win, win. At least Noam had the title for a little bit. That will be fine. So now let's talk about a little bit of Rampage Brown, because remember, like the injury or like the thing, like the kick that like it pretty much took him out of the championship match with Ilya Dragunov, and they just said they give an update, and they said that like he refused to get medical attention. He did not want to transfer to Sid Scala, Johnny Saint, and everybody, and he gave the finger. So later on, we're going to see what's going on with Rampage Brown. So like you said, they're going to keep up further in the feud a little more. They're continuing this just by adding just seats, little updates, and at the end, at some point, we're going to see the rematch between these two.
Yeah, I mean, I like this. I love what you just see him giving the finger. That was great. This guy's a total heel. He's a badass. They said after, they kind of wheeled him to the back and he was conscious. He's like, no, I don't want medical attention. Get out of here. You're bullshit. So this is good. I think we're going to see him come back. Maybe, what we're going to get into, maybe he'll insert himself into Ilya Dragunov's new feud and we get a triple threat, or we get some kind of, match or something taken place.
Exactly. And no, it would be good. And like you said, like, we're going to see Ilya Dragunov's next opponent is Jordan Devlin. Didn't we ask this, Paul? And then we need our faces. We asked for this. So NXT UK listens to the fans, or at least they understand the psychology, the mentality of how to give good storytelling.
They listen to the number one and the only podcast that covers NXT UK. So
that's right. So like, Jordan Devlin is right there, and he's just talking about like he needs to be the next opponent, and he calls Ilya Dragunov, and they talk, and he says, hey, I know who you beat for the title. I know who you defended the title against last week. Like, both men are legit. They both think that the man is sacred, but it's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. It's like, that's not me. It's like, all I need is one opportunity, and one opportunity only, to end your career and to become the brand new NXT UK champion. So like, really cool stuff. And I mean, Ilya's like, all you gotta do is ask. But it's like, okay, so like, how do I get in the skin? How do I get through him? Okay, well, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna destroy you to the point that like your kid is gonna have to pick up the pieces with you. Constantine, right? I think that's his name. Oh yeah. So like, they go at it. So good start of the feud. There's intensity between the two, and again, this is gonna be a fantastic match because both build the same, so their styles can, I think they're gonna merge a lot better. They're gonna blend really good.
Yeah, and Jordan Devlin he's such a great wrestler. We say Dragunov has that intensity that, like, when you watch a Dragunov match, you don't go, this is a predetermined match. They're working together. You really think it's a fight. You think it's a contest. This guy's so good, and I'm looking forward to this match. And I like what you said. I agree. The promo, it was good. It had the nice flow to it. It came out Devlin talked all the shit. Dragunov's like, dude, I don't talk, I fight. You want to step in the ring with me? Let's prove it. And Devlin, that wasn't good enough. He wanted to get under the skin. And how did Sam Gradwell get under the skin? Remember in their feud a while ago, he mentioned the kid and everything. You know, he brought up his son. He's like, how are you going to explain to your son that you're a crazy madman? You can't control yourself. And he beat the shit out of Gradwell. And then he's like, you know, oh, your son, you won't even be able to, you know, you have to explain to your son why he has to take care of his dad the rest of his life and all this stuff. So he gets pissed, attacks him. I mean, this was great. And like I said, I'm looking forward to the match. And I don't think Dragunov's going to lose, though. I really think he's going to have a good title reign and stuff. But this is a good feud. And like I said, here, maybe Rampage Brown comes in this match. Screw this, screw you guys, because Devlin took a shot at Rampage Brown. He said, oh, I won't quit by getting, you know, I won't quit in my match or get kicked in the head or, you know, whatever, and give up, you know, and he's like, oh, I won't tap out and all this, you know, pretty much referencing all the past opponents. And I mean, this is good. And if
easy way.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's gonna be really cool, and we're happy about it. This to me was a bit confusing, not in the proportion. Oh my god, I don't know what's going on. It's just like Amel. It seems like she turned babyface just because she gave her whole life story, pictures of her in like the WWE live shows, live events. All I wanted to do is WWE. She was crying, and it's like, oh, my parents told me to go to law school. I speak 3 languages. I'm a teacher, but all I want to do is be in the ring. I want to carry the women's division, win the face of WWE. So I don't know. But like she seems like she's turning babyface, but like she showcased their intensity. And we said this girl has a lot of potential, a lot of future. She has a character. She's decent in the ring. So I don't know what they did though, because as heel she was good. Now a babyface, I don't know what her ceiling could be.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they really don't know. Maybe it's somewhere Mako is gonna drop the belt and maybe leave. You know, maybe she was only here for a little bit. She just wanted to do a tour. You know, she's getting older. And then, you know, okay. Then, you know, who's your champion? Maybe it's going to be a Blair Davenport. Going to be your champion. A heel. We're going to need some more baby faces. To me, Emil, she was good as a heel because she had that intensity. But then after seeing this, you know, you almost have to have her be a babyface now. You can't have her be a heel now. On
she turned. So, yeah. You know, no, I'm the only French star that they ever, you know, hire in WWE, all the live shows. Like you said, it's like we're just saw a completely transformation, like a 180 here with Amel. We'll see what they do.
I do agree with everything you said, though. I mean, she had like pretty decent wrestler. I mean, she's very easy on the eyes, and you know, she wants to do it. You know what I mean? You see her training, you see her, you know, doing all this stuff. I want to do it. Yeah, it's not like somebody who they went in Victoria's Secret and went, oh, we'll take her. Hey, you want to be our women's champion?
Like WWE is doing right now, and like, you know, like they're going to gyms and everything, and they have supposedly like the new reincarnation of the Bella Twins, just because they're 2 hot twins. All right, yeah, that's great. That's how you build, you know, North Stars. Completely ignoring the indie scene, women that are busting their asses every single time. They want an opportunity. That's all they want. Is like Jordan Devlin, right, Jordan? One opportunity. You know, WWE and their ways. You know, and, you know, we sometimes we feel sorry for them because the show keeps growing, and at some point we're going to be even better than the WWE. Well, Simon Gradwell against Shaw Samuels. This match was absolutely great. Just because 2 guys that like know to have a fun match. To me, this was fun. A lot of intensity in between the 2. Shaw is decent in the ring. You know, he has a lot of like indie experience, and also like he's had a lot of fandom. And Gradwell is a type of guy that will never give you a bad match. And in this case, he did that. You know, he gave me a fun match. And I found a lot of good spots. But this was just the funny part because they were playing with the towel. Right, and then he grabs the towel while like Noam Dar is instructing the ref, and he hits in the Shaw in the nuts, and then that allows you this whole distraction to hit his finisher. And 1, 2, 3, and Sam Gradwell was the championship. I mean, not the championship, but like the match. And I thought that he became #1 contender, but you know, of course, we had like already that discussion. But at least Sam Gradwell is in this conversation, so maybe he might be added to this, and it will be cool because there will be a Heritage Cup triple threat. I don't know, but at least he got the win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can actually do a Heritage Cup triple threat. I mean, maybe they could fudge the rules, but I think because it's such an old style match, I don't know if they'll actually change it. But no, I mean, have this guy be, you know, he can be a contender in anything. You know, you just, when that feud is over, you know, whatever, you just keep him there, you know, get him more wins, do something with him. I like this. Like you said, it was fun, but both guys are good. But see, that's the one thing about NXT UK. You know the segments that are going to have a little bit of comedy, a little bit of the goofiness, but it's not insulting goofiness. It's fun. It's lighthearted. You know, you get into it, you have a good laugh, and you still witness a pretty decent match.
Yeah.
So I like this, and you know, I'm glad that Gradwell got the win here. Shaw Samuels, like you said, he's kind of just the stooge. He's the goof. You know, the main star of that duo is Noam Dar.
Exactly. So, you know, let's go Paul to like Gallus. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're kidnapping somebody. I don't know if they're trying to be the Wyatt family here, but look, they got us to give like this hard jobs, mate. So I don't know what they're doing, but pretty much they cut a promo on Di Familia, on, you know, Theo Man and Dempsey and also Raja. And I think the first match we're gonna see is gonna be Kofi against Dempsey. So this is going to be interesting. He says, oh, I'm going to beat him. And, you know, he thinks that he's the best thing. He's the new generation, but at the same time, he represents the old generation because of Regal and all the past. So we'll see. But, I mean, at least they have something with Gallus. You know, they have him, like, dizzy with something because Kofi, you know that, like, at some point, he's going to show up in the championship picture opportunity, you know, soon. Or sooner or later, so to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with 6-man tag. I'm fine with one-on-one matches. You know, you want to do a tag match and then a singles match. However you want to have these 6 guys feud, I'm fine with it. But what the hell was this? They had the hoodies in the dark and they're sneaking and they're like, so I'm like, can they just cut a promo in the back? Can they, you know, just in the locker room? Yeah, can you just, I mean, that to me, it was just weird. It's like when Tio Man and them were like on the roof. You know, it's like, what are you doing on the roof? Like, what the hell?
No, even worse. Remember, Tio Man was not in the wall, not even. I think he was in the phone. He's like, oh yeah, he says yes. Okay, he didn't even talk.
Yeah,
it was like, I mean. And we're
they're a little out there. They're a little out there. You know what I mean?
It's a little out there, but you know, it was okay. And like you said, the first match is going to be Dempsey against Joe Coffey.
I am looking. That's going to be a great match.
Yeah, and hopefully Dempsey gets the win because that will solidify, like, you know, this brand new star. He doesn't have to lose. So he's just beat, you know, Kentman talent. So this will be his first serious match. So we'll see what happens. Probably in 2 weeks, I want to say, because then he'll have to answer the challenge. So we will see what happens. Let's talk about the main event because Moustache Mountain had like his last opportunity to go for the NXT UK Tag Team titles, going against the current champions, Pretty Deadly. This was an excellent match, despite like Pretty Deadly's like a little flamboyant outfits. I don't know if they're like directing traffic pole. I don't know what's going on, but despite that, they gave us an absolute great show. And I'm sad. You know, they didn't make the right decision here. I mean, for the people that love baby faces, for people that enjoy happy endings, this is great. Because, you know, you're thinking as friends and all of that, Moustache Man becoming the tag team champions is great, but like we wanted the turn. We wanted like a, you know, better storyline, a more intriguing, you know, more compelling storyline in Trent Seven and Tyler Bate. But tell me a little bit about the match.
Yeah, I mean, the match itself was great. You saw Tyler Bate in there first. You know, he dominated, looked real strong. Then he tagged out to Trent Seven. Trent Seven with his whole story. You know, do I still have any gas left in the tank? Am I legit? Is this my last shot? You know, is my career, you know, in this match, maybe, you know, this will even be my last match. So commentary was selling that. Oh, if he doesn't win, is Trent Seven going to hang it up here? So, oh my God, you know, trying to add a little more drama to it. But when Trent Seven tagged in, he sold like crazy for probably a good 7-8 minutes. They were just beating him up, you know, selling. He couldn't get the tag to Tyler Bate, everything. Eventually he fights back, you know, tons of great stuff back and forth here. But the main story of this match was just the resilience of Trent Seven.
Yes.
He just couldn't get pinned. You know, I love some of the dirty tricks where like Pretty Deadly tags himself, and the one, I think it was Sam Stoker was on the floor, and the ref's like, that's an illegal tag, but like Trent Seven was looking at him anyway, and then, you know, they kick the leg out, and they just do these like tricks, and they're such good heels. And you know, both of these guys, Moustache Mountain, they sell so well. You know, big spots on the outside. They hit the spilt milk.
Go ahead. Finish it.
I was just gonna say, you know, they hit the spilt milk on Tyler Bate, you know, and all this stuff. The only complaint I have, and I don't care that Moustache Mountain, like we said, they won the belt. You know, they're the new champions. I don't mind that finish at all. The only thing I don't care is that they used every like gimmick in the book to try to pin Trent Seven, and it didn't work. They hit him with they hit their finishers. They hit like a new move, you know, a finisher I haven't even seen before. They did like double knees and then like a code breaker, a power bomb off the knees again, all this stuff. You know, it couldn't put him away. And then they hit him with the belts. they hit Trent Seven in the head with the belts, and then even you had Nigel McGuinness on commentary. He's like, "Oh, Pretty Deadly retains." Boom, they kick out, and he loses his mind. He's like, "Oh my God, they can't put away Trent Seven." And then eventually, he makes the hot tag to Tyler Bate. He comes in, boom, 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 cleans house. Trent Seven hits the Emerald Flosion on Sam Stoker, and then he drops him
Burning Hammer
on a Lewis Halley, the Burning Hammer. And then he gets up there, and then he kind of does his not like a
he did a Tiger Driver, and then he did like a 480 or like a Phoenix. It's not a Phoenix splash. I think it's just
some kind of a splash 360 for whatever. Crazy.
1,100. 1,100. He did that. I mean, like you said, we have new brand new tag team champions, and we gotta mention also that Tyler Bate is the first man in NXT UK's history to have won all the titles available. He was the inaugural NXT UK champion. Now he's tag and also like the Heritage Cup. So he's won it all. Like you said, I mean, the story is just everything that you said is the truth. It's like they wanted to showcase Trent Seven in such a different way. Like even they said Alex Shepard was like, oh, he's went to a place that never seen before. We never seen Trent Seven like this much resiliency on anybody. He only cares about these tag team titles. So it was good on that, and you see the friendship, you see the love between the two. So it's a feel-good moment, but when it comes to storytelling, when it comes to and keeping the audience engaged, I feel that you should have gone with the other one just because it has more layers to it. You could have done so much more and then prolonged this for a long, long time. But it seems to me that they wanted to give this good moment to Trent Seven, to Tyler Bate.
The only thing I will say, and I agree with all that, but if you got to look at the tag team roster, who are some of the other tag teams? Right now, you have a feud between Gallus and, the family.
La Familia.
Yeah, and both of them are heels, I would say. I mean, Gallus is in between, but they can be heel or babyface no matter what. So, there's two heel teams right there. You have the rematch with Pretty Deadly if you want to. You really don't have many babyface teams. Subculture's done because we saw a promo by Kenny Williams.
Yes.
He pretty much said that there's no more Subculture, or all that's left is Mark Andrews. He's gonna have a match against him, and then there'll be no Subculture. It'll just be the culture of scum, and a good promo by him as well. And so what really babyface tag teams are there? So I think you almost had to do the switch because you have more heel tag teams. And I think you can still maybe they'll have a short title reign. Maybe they'll be the first ones to lose it in their first title defense to kickstart that feud. Because I do think you're going to have to do it eventually. If Trent Seven rides off into the sunset and he retires and we never see them feud, then that to me was a wasted opportunity.
Oh yeah, it was.
I shouldn't say wasted opportunity, but you had at least a good program.
You had a kind of chance. Yeah. And before we leave, I want to just hit your attention for a second. I don't know if you caught this in the show, but right as Tyler Bate goes, through the curtain, Trent Seven stayed, and the camera focused on him. So and he was like, okay, this is important. So maybe there's hints that at some point it might turn. I'm thinking that they're gonna go along the same story about Matt Riddle and Randy Orton, not in the same way, but it's we're best friends. At some point, losing those titles and making a mistake is going to be the catalyst for that, for those feuds. So it might be the same, concept. It's just applied into different type of friendships because the one is strong, they love each other. The other one is just weird. It's just we're tag team champions because we're good and because Vince is just crazy and hates tag team wrestling. So family, thank you so very much for being with us. One more time, don't forget to just please subscribe. The ones that are new, the ones that got with us for this long time, keep getting that thumbs up for the video. Keep spreading the word about the original Rope Break. And where else can they find us, Paul?
And make sure you follow us, Rope Break on Facebook, OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok, and of course right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
And you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...